welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back. We've got another edition of Value Hunting, and you can tell I care about this one because I didn't do it as a live stream, baby. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Subscribe to Team Hold. We do a ton of daily NBA content, and if this is your first dabble with Sorare, you can find a link in the show notes that signs you up. You get started for free. You get 20 free common cards. You don't have to put $1 in, but then if you do buy 5 things off of the limited auction, you get a 6-1 free, and then it makes us look really, really good, and that is what I'm about. But today we're going to be diving into the Momentum Labs projections. You can find a link in the show notes for your Momentum Labs subscription. You can go take a look at all the different projections for Sorare, for Moment Ranks, if you're on that side of the world as well. So we're going to have some fun with that, and the goal of today's episode, Sorare, game week 31. We're going to try to find a handful of plays with a cap of 20 or under to help boost up those contender lineups or fit in a second stud in your champion lineups. As always, none of this is financial advice because I am also bad at this, which is very exciting. Let's take a look at Sorare, see what we got going on this week. So the last couple of weeks, right, we've had the Eastern Conference. They went back to unlimited. We've got a no cap this week. So limited, no cap. Common's got an underdog. The underdog means you're just going to play a bunch of cheapos. Rare went from underdog to no cap, and super rare went from no cap to underdog. So they're still continuing to tweak the tournaments that are available. And I'll just say once again to dear Sorare employees, just like release the hose. Let's just get as many contests up there as possible. Or at least, I just don't want to do those training lineups. All right, let's dive into Momentum Labs. Again, so we still have a handful of basketball games happening tonight. So if more injury news pops up or any sort of NBA news, whether it's a trade or whatever, make sure you tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern live, right on this channel. We'll be doing live before lock. We'll go over all the late breaking NBA injury news or trade news. We'll also take a look at updated projections. And of course, we do a giveaway. We're guaranteed to give away a limited card. But if we get up over 200 live viewers, which we were so close on Monday, we get to 187. We will make it a rare. Well, we'll add a rare tier to it. So make sure you tune into that. And look at that. That's a full 4 minutes of preamble before we get into everything. Let's go over to the spread skeets. Again, we're over at Momentum Labs. This was updated yesterday, so they'll have updated projections as we get closer. The first thing I wanted to do, I was supposed to do this before we started, but let's put in a temporary filter because what I would like to see is who's got them games, who's got the most amount of games this weekend. So we see Portland has 2, Philly has 2, Denver has 2 games, the New York Knickerbockers with 2 games, the Timberwolves, the Pacers, who else? The Charlotte Hornets have 2, the Rockets, I think I already said, the Sacktown, go Kangs, light the beam, Atlanta has 2 games, Denver has 2 games. Who else am I missing here? The Wizards, Washington has 2 games. Phoenix has 2 games. Almost everybody's playing 2 this weekend. The Pellies. Let's actually see who's got 1 game. That might be more helpful. A lot of games this weekend, huh? All right. We have the Lakers with 1, the Celtics with 1, the Nets with 1, the Bucks with 1, the Thunder with 1. So we have the Clippers with 1, the Mavericks with 1. So what we're going to see, the Grizzlies, the Jazz, a lot of your big, expensive champion moments, MVP moments might only have 1 game here. So let me go back to the top here. So Dame and Embiid and Jokic, those are going to be like probably your plays for MVP. I know we normally don't talk about MVP. All right, let's clear that filter. Let's go back to cap. We'll do from the cap-ish. All right, we're going to start at the 20 and work our way down because that is what the goal is of this. I'm just going to double check something over here. All right, here we go. So we're looking for people who are popping. At the 20 range, Zach Collins. I know I mentioned Zach Collins a couple of times so far. I'm less intrigued by Zach Collins for this game, right? The Spurs only have 1 game. He's got a cap of 20 and a projection of 21. However, if we're thinking more long-term, Jakob Poeltl, the starting big man for the Spurs, who's been really, really productive this season, he is like one of the more popular names that's being talked about as a trade candidate. He's probably like the number 1 big man target that we're seeing this trade deadline. So if Jakob Poeltl gets moved, Zach Collins, who's already been productive as a reserve, as a bench player, he's already been solid. He's immediately going to have a couple of weeks of just crushing. So before his cap catches up. So I kind of like Zach Collins as a long-term play. His limited price is 9, his rare is 49. As I'm saying that, I should buy this rare because I imagine it goes up. In the 20 range, there's not a ton of like really dope plays. We're seeing you've got Quentin Grimes over here. Actually, you know what? Sorry guys, I'm gonna fix this real quick here. We'll do projection and then we'll do cap again. Let's see if that fixed that there for a second. There we go. That's a little bit better here in the 20 spot. Quentin Grimes is projecting really well. The Knicks have 2 games. He's got a cap of 20 and a projection of 24.5. I don't think Quentin Grimes has like crazy upside, but if he's like your last piece into your lineup, he makes everything else work. That's fine. I think we can find some better spots though. Chris Middleton, we've talked a lot about. The Bucks only have 1 game, so there's that. What I will say is we've been monitoring Middleton's minutes, right? And he started, it was like 15, 15, 17, 18. He played 20 in the last game. So as Middleton gets ramped up, because he can, like, he's already projecting to get there right now to cap a 19 with a projection of 25. Once he starts playing like 28, 32 minutes, you're going to have a nice little runway of a few, like his L10 is going to be very low for what his production is. You're seeing his price is already caught up, right? So it's limited to 58. His rares at 240. So you've already missed the boat on this, but we've talked about Middleton for a while. And I think, we talked about stashing him, right? He's going to be a play probably, maybe not this week, this game week 31, but game week 32, he'd definitely be one of my favorite targets. Mark Williams, man, I love Mark Williams, but good Lord, Steve Clifford, the coach of the Hornets, is just refusing to give him extended run. We need Plum Dog Millionaire Plumlee to get traded. He's another big. That's him and Pirtle are probably the 2 bigs that are talked the most during this trade deadline. Hopefully he gets moved soon, so they just have to play Mark Williams. Larry Nance. So the Pelicans have 2 games. The Larry Nance situation is so interesting because, like, I thought Jonas Valanciunas against the Nuggets was a good matchup for him. Not that he would just dominate Jokic, but that they would keep him out there. And Willie Green, the coach of the Pelicans, decided, nah, brah, we're going small ball. So Larry Nance, I think, but Jonas only played like 19 minutes, and Nance got the rest of the big minutes. We also saw Willie Hernangomez, who you're also seeing up there project really well. Not really well, I'm sorry, but his cap is 20. So I don't know. I guess Larry Nance is fine. I'm probably staying away from the bigs in the Pelican situation. And the cap of 18, Rui, his cap went back down to 18. He's got a projection of 24. He really disappointed in that first game this game week, but the second game he crushed. So he's got 1 game. Rui's fine. Marcus Morris, I'm probably not touching. Caleb Martin, I'm probably not touching. Again, this is just my preference. In the 16 range, you got Neesmith, Jayshawn Tate, and Batum are all fine plays, but I think we can do better. Jericho Sims, man, was just straight dog do yesterday or 2 days ago. He plays tonight. Right now, I think he's gotten like 5 points or whatever it was. Jericho Sims is going to continue to project well because he's supposed to get minutes because that's what Tibbs does. However, it's really a coin flip almost every week. So beware of this projection. If it's not Sims, it's Hartenstein. If it's not Hartenstein, it's Sims. The benefit is they have 2 games, so he's got 2 cracks at it this weekend. So Sims is fine. I know I'm going to be playing him, but whatever. Santi Aldama's going to cap a 15, 18.7 projection. That's fine. Let's keep going. Yeah, Hartenstein, we just talked about that situation. Jalen Suggs, though, we should mention him. I feel like he's on the up and up here. He's got a cap of 14, projection of 17.5, but I feel like that has room to run. We haven't seen it happen yet. They had 2 really tough matchups this week against the Sixers, but with 2 games this weekend, I don't hate Jalen Suggs there for a nice little value play. I also don't think he'll be super popular. Aaron Wiggins of the Oklahoma City Thunder, he disappointed in that first game. I can't remember what he did in his second game. Actually, I think the second game's tonight. He is getting minutes, though. He just didn't do anything with him in that first game, but a cap of 12, projection of 21.5. OKC, it's always throwing darts, outside of SGA, Giddey, and then, like, I guess Jalen Williams. You never really know who's going to go off, but someone will. So Aaron Wiggins for a cap of 12, I feel like is again, there's some risk to it, but it's solid. Peyton Pritchard, I'm crossing off. I'm not interested in Peyton Pritchard. Zaire Williams, I feel like you could do better in this range. Let's keep going. We're down in the 11 range. Nothing's popping in the 11s. In the 8s, Trey Mann, another Oklahoma City guy. Wesley Matthews had a really good game this week. I don't get it. They didn't play him at all at the beginning of the year. I don't know what this Wesley Matthews thing is. And then Malachi Flynn, who's like getting a few more minutes. Malachi Flynn will be interesting if we see him get traded, right? If you see him get traded, that'll be something. So that's it. That's it for value hunting. This is going to be another tough game week. There's a lot of studs with only 1 game, so we'll have to pay attention to that. But like, let's do a quick recap. I don't think I'm touching anybody sub 10. I just don't think this is the week for it. I think balanced build's probably the way to go, especially with so many of those guys only playing one game. I think Aaron Wiggins is probably my favorite down here. Zaire Williams is fine, but I think it's Aaron Wiggins, and that's the only one I would touch in the 12 range. 14, Hartenstein. I'd take Suggs over Hartenstein. Hartenstein might have a higher ceiling, but Suggs' floor is pretty stable. But either one of these in the 14 range is fine. But give me Suggs. And then Sims, I'm just going to close my eyes and do it again. The 16 range, I hate. And then it's Rui at 18, which I think is still a great play. Chris Middleton, I think you can. I'm more excited about like next week or the week after, but I think you could roll them out this week. Larry Nance, whatever. And then that 20 range, Quentin Grimes and Zach Collins. It's a tough game week. It is a tough game week. Hopefully, we get some more injury news. Hopefully, we get something. Maybe a trade happens that opens up some more value, but we're going to have to use our brains. We're going to have to use our brains this week, boys and girls, and however you identify. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern. We'll be doing live before lock. Let me know in the comments who's your favorite value play this week, because I need them. This is hard. Again, shout out to Momentum Labs for letting us use their projections for this show. Subscribe to the channel. We do a daily NBA show Monday through Friday. We do tons of content. So subscribe, come hang out. And let me know. Let me know who your value play is. I appreciate everyone being here today. Let's get it.